I found some really interesting statistics about the net worth of married couples and females and males, and I was pretty blown away. So I wanted to share these statistics with you and see if you will be blown away as well. And you can also see if you are on track with the rest of Americans. I am Tiffany Thomas with WealthyTiffany.com, and I achieved financial freedom and became a millionaire. If you are looking to do one or both of those things, hit that like button and hit the subscribe button, and we're going to dive right in. All right, first, let's define very quickly what net worth means. It means taking all of your assets and then subtracting out all of your liabilities. Essentially everything that you own minus everything that you owe. And to give you a quick example, some things that you might own would be a home and a car, and perhaps you have some money in a 401k in your checking and savings. So all of those would be assets. So you would add up the value of all of those items, and then let's say that you had a mortgage loan and a car loan, and you have some student loans and some money on a credit card. You would subtract out all of those liabilities, everything that you owe, from all of the things that you own, and that would be your net worth. Now that we have defined net worth, let's take a look at this chart and see the average net worth for males versus females versus married couples by age. On the chart, the green color is the married couples, so you can see how much higher the green is from the blue, which is males, and then the yellow, which is females. So the green, the married couples, is astronomically higher than males and females. And if you're just comparing the blue to the yellow, the males to the males are quite a bit higher than the females. And then it is broken down by age. So you can see that if you are younger than 35 years old and you are married, your net worth would be just over $34,000. But if you are a single male, your net worth would be just over $10,000. And if you are a single female, then your net worth would be $1,305. So if you are under the age of 35, then the average net worth for a married couple is $34,720. So calculate your net worth and see if you fall into this range or if you are higher or lower. And then if we move to the next age group, it is 35 to 54, and the net worth for married couples is $195,500 versus a smaller amount of $39,260 for males, and then an even smaller amount at $13,730 for females. By being a married couple ages 35 to 54, your net worth is significantly higher than if you are single. And then if we move to the next age bracket, it is age 55 to 64. The net worth of married couples is $375,000 compared to single males at only $71,580, and then females at $59,350. So in this age bracket, the net worth for married couples is about 5 times what it would be for a single male. And just by looking at this chart, you can see the drastic difference. And then if we move into the last age bracket, which is 65 and over, married couples have a net worth of $482,900. And then males and females are a lot closer. Males are $141,800, and then females are $128,700. Again, in this age bracket, married couples have a significantly higher net worth than single males and single females. And I was blown away by this because I thought maybe married couples would be a little bit higher, but about 5 times higher is significant. And I have some reasons why I think this could be, but I want you to comment below and tell me why you think married couples have a lot higher net worth than single males and females. And of course, one reason I think this is because they are splitting the cost of different things, right? They don't have to buy 2 separate dishwashers, and they can rely on one another's health insurance. You can split the cost of a lot of things between each other, so you aren't paying for things separately. But also, it's usually more educated and more affluent and also more religious Americans that tend to get married in the first place. So that does give them an advantage over other people. And if this was a dating and marriage channel, then I may be telling you to go out and get married as soon as possible. But it is not. It's a finance channel. And I think that we should marry for love and not for money. And you can see from these charts that you can increase your net worth together over time rather than just trying to marry for money. With married couples, you're able to combine your resources together, which is very effective for building wealth. But not only that, I think it has to do with being able to support one another in our endeavors. So if someone is trying to get a promotion at work, then that person has the support of their spouse and letting them know that they are worthy of that and that they do have the credentials to apply for that promotion. I think being able to support one another in that way makes a huge difference because we actually care about that person and we want to see them progress and improve. And then going back to the chart and looking at the females and seeing how much lower they are than the males and the married couples as well. I really feel like we need to be investing our money a lot more than men or married couples. Of course, we all need to do that, but you can see how much lower the female's net worth is, and we can really boost our net worth if we are investing our money. And not only that, women usually make better investors anyway, and here are a few reasons why that is. Studies show that women spend more time researching their investment choices, and while they do take on less risk than men when it comes to investing, that doesn't mean they are risk averse. Rather, they're simply more likely to take an appropriate level of risk with their investments than men. This prevents women from chasing hot tips and trading on whims, behavior that tends to weaken men's portfolios. And because women are more likely to have good age-based asset allocations, they achieve proper diversification to help protect their money, regardless of market conditions. Essentially, women are very good at choosing their investments and being very appropriate with their diversification. And women also stay calmer in crazy market conditions like we have seen recently. They are less likely to sell off their investments and lose on gains when the market comes back up. They continue to be consistent with their investing and just stay the course. So honestly, we as women need to be investing our money because we are naturally good at it. And I do think that everyone needs to be investing as much of their money as soon as possible. Because that being said, let's go back to the chart. As we can see, the net worth is higher as a married couple, but I feel like these are not high enough numbers, especially if we want to retire early. Because if the average net worth of the married couples, which is the highest net worth, is only at $375,000 for those ages 55 to 64, that is not going to be enough for people to retire off of. If we use the 4% rule, which I talk in more detail about in another video, which I'll leave a link to above and below, but if we use that rule, that means that we are taking the amount that we have invested and we are living off of that amount. And tell me in the comments below if you find these videos with statistics helpful or not. The 4% rule states that we need to have 25 times our annual expenses invested, which means if we only have $375,000 invested and we divide that number by 25, then we would be living off of $15,000 a year, and that is for a married couple. I feel like that is not going to be nearly enough for most people. And if you're saying, Tiffany, but I'm not planning to retire until age 65, that's fine. Let's take a look at that number. The average net worth for age 65 and over for married couples is $482,900. So using that 4% rule again, if we take the $482,900, divide that by 25, then we would be living off $19,316 a year. And again, I feel like that is not enough for most people to live off of. And that's also assuming that this net worth amount is completely invested in the stock market. And most likely it's not, because it's going to include probably their home and their car and the amount that's in their checking or savings. So if we take all of those things into account, maybe we have a net worth of $300,000 for our home, taking the value of the home and subtracting out the mortgage loan. And then let's say we have $20,000 in car value and then $15,000 in savings. That would leave us with $147,900. That would be the amount that we would have invested in the stock market. So if we divide that number by 25, we would get $5,916. That's the amount we would be living off of each year, not each month. Each month it would be about $493. And I don't know about you, but I don't know that many people with a $493 mortgage payment, let alone all of the other expenses that people have. So honestly, we need to be above the average net worth for Americans, whether we are a married couple or a male or a female, because this amount is just not enough. And if you're wondering how to invest your money, how to grow your wealth, how to increase your net worth, I have a ton of videos about how to do that. And also, I like using a free app, it's called Personal Capital, to track my net worth. If that's something you're interested in, I will leave my referral link below. You can click on that to set up a free Personal Capital account, and you can see your full financial picture, including your net worth, in one place so that you can see how to increase your net worth. Comment below and tell me if your mind was blown when you saw these statistics for married couples' net worth versus males versus females. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and share it with someone else who would like to hear this information. And hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and hit the little bell to get notified on when I post new videos. And if you want to see even more content from me, check out the videos on the side of the screen. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.